it's giving only person in the world. I don't know what I want to do now. I have a PDF of the Anarchist Cookbook, so I could read a chapter now, but it is daylight, so I should be reading a physical book because it's better to read it in daylight. And then I have a lot to fix in my manuscript. Chapter 1 is the one that I'm stuck on. Like, I don't know, every time there's something with it that gets to me, and I feel like the more I edit it, the more words I add to it versus like trimming it down. So I don't know, maybe it needs more words. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to go there and then maybe separate the chapter, or I don't know, it's like multiple point of views, so it's not that simple to separate a chapter. I'm gonna have to like reshift everything. So I'm just thinking, like, might as well just try to add whatever I need to add now, add things even if they don't make any sense, and then take them out. Or when I'm like really like editing the last final draft, then that's when I can make those like important decisions. So the goal is this week to finish part 1, and part 1 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chapters. And those 10 chapters are like, I think, like the longest chapters, so which means that the next few chapters, the next few parts, I'm gonna have to add more words. Technically, it shouldn't take me much time to do part 1 because it's the one that's the most edited. It's basically like every time I went back to write this draft, I went back into part 1, reread things, added things, corrected things. So I still find that it's also the hardest part for some reason because it's the one where it's so cemented in my brain. So yeah, if I could do 2 chapters a day every day for the next 5 days, I'll be happy. Today is Monday, February 10th, so I will try to do that after doing some reading. So I want to read The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. It's my first Ursula Le Guin novel. I've never read anything by her, but she's known to be like one of the best science fiction female authors out there. I mean, she has passed, and I feel like when I did some research, she's the one that always pops up when I research anarchism in literature. So essentially, I'm really curious to read her. I have both The Dispossessed and Left Hand of Darkness. So I wanted to read Left Hand of Darkness because it's like wintry, so I know it's a winter read. But I think I'm going to leave that for the end of the week. And right now I'm just going to focus on my anarchy books. So I will probably film a vlog for The Dispossessed just because it's going to be my first Le Guin. Or I might not. I might just mention it here and there in this vlog. And I might just, you know, talk about it during a wrap up or something. But we'll see. That's a problem with me. It's that I have so many plans, but if I stick too rigidly to plans, I don't want to do anything, or I get overwhelmed because there's so many things I want to do. So I'm trying to be more in tune with my own flow, my own personal like desires, what I want to do next, while still aiming for something, aiming to write something or to finish something, if you know what I mean. So that's what I will be doing. The whole point is to actually write and finish this book and finish this draft. Like, I'm just so fucking done with this book. It's been here for so long. I feel like I cannot finish any of my new books or other books because this book has always been at the background and it's like haunting me and daunting me. So I think as soon as I finish this, it's gonna be such a relief. and then I'm gonna send it to my friends, and then I'm gonna query it, and then I can just like stop thinking about it for a little while and stop like feeling ashamed or guilty that I've never finished this book. So as it stands right now, it's at 71,000 words. Well, 71,410 words. And I think by the end of it, I want it to be more like around the 80,000, 90,000 range, just because I know like I need to finish writing the ending, and I know I need to bulk up some of the chapters in the middle. So yes, that's what I'm dealing with right now. For those of you who write, you will know the struggle. The struggle is real. I'll get to that today, although it's already almost 2 p.m. I woke up late. It's my fault. I just wanted to sleep in so badly. I don't know, every time I'm here I just want to sleep, which is a good thing but also a bad thing, because like this is like the time where I want to be like creative or productive, but instead I'm like just sleeping all the time and being lazy. So that's why I forced myself. I went out for a walk and a run in the snow. There's a lot of fucking snow. Actually, I should be changing my pants because they're wet. I don't want to catch a cold. But yeah, I went, and it like kind of like woke me up and like gave me some like fresh air. Like it doesn't get any fresher than this in Canada. So yeah, okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's stop talking. Let's get to work. I just shoveled for half an hour and now I'm just laying on the stairs. This is so nice. Like, it's not too cold, and it snowed again, and it's just so pretty. I'm just enjoying my time here. I might even go in and grab a book and read out here for a bit. Also, my boots are broken. Like, the sole of one of my boots is completely gone. So I don't have any other boots here. I mean, yeah, but it's okay. I'll be able to survive for the next few days. It's just so peaceful. I just want to sit here every day out here, so long as it's not too cold. actually reading this book right now is so relevant because I was just talking about how I feel guilty for sleeping so much lately because like I just had a year where I was not sleeping, and I feel like now that I'm like more calm and relaxed, I've been sleeping more, and I've been trying to stay away from social media so it doesn't like interrupt my sleep patterns. But I've been finding myself sleeping like some nights 8 to 10 hours, and reading Wintering is kind of making me feel better about that because obviously we have different seasons in life, and in this book Catherine May explains that like wintering just happens to you. It doesn't necessarily like happen in the winter. It just sometimes something will happen in your life where you'll have to retreat from the world and take that time for yourself. And I'm gonna read the opening epigraph because I really like the quote. It says, "Over the land freckled with snow half thawed, the speculating brooks at their nests cawed, and saw from elm tops delicate as flowers of grass, where we below could not see winter pass," by Edward Thomas, and it's called Thaw. Surprisingly, it goes from September to March, so I'm really excited to get through all those months. Obviously right now we are February and so much snow, and it's so beautiful, it's so peaceful. My fingers are getting cold. I'm gonna try to read for a few more minutes. I put a timer for myself using the Forest app actually. Let's see how long I have left. I have 10 minutes, so I read for 20 minutes. I'm gonna see if I can read one more chapter maybe, or half a chapter, and then go inside and maybe come back outside afterwards to take another walk because it's just so beautiful. Yeah. Guys, she's so pretty, but she's inaccessible. This winter, she's protected, and she is for the animals and the animals only. And although I am quite the animal, I am not the real animal that she normally adheres to. So I will be watching her from inside the glass castle and admiring her all winter long. But she's so pretty, and she's protected from all the snow. As you can tell, it snowed again. I'm currently reading my first Ursula Le Guin novel, and it's The Dispossessed. And honestly, I knew it was about an anarchist, but I didn't know it would like go there right away. So the first chapter really hooks you, okay? Like, you're a bit confused, you don't know what's going on, because you understand that there's a planet and then there's another planet and then there's a doctor from one planet going to the other. One planet seems to be more like equalitarian, where like women are also scientists, women are treated equally, while he's going to a planet that is much like Earth, where there's a lot of water and they don't treat women equally. Like, women are not in the sciences, they're just wives. So that's how far I am. I'm not going to spoil anything. I just want to read you the opening to chapter 1 and the ending to chapter 1. There was a wall. It did not look important. It was built of uncut rocks, roughly mortared. An adult could look right over it, and even a child could climb it. Where it crossed the roadway, instead of having a gate, it degenerated into a mere geometry, a line, an idea of boundary. But the idea was real. It was important. For 7 generations, there had been nothing in the world more important than that wall. Like all walls, it was ambiguous, two-faced. What was inside it and what was outside it depended upon which side of it you were on. This kind of reminds me of the Haruki Murakami book that I just read, which is like The City and Its Uncertain Walls in that passage. And then the end of chapter 1. Let me find it. He looked up at them, one face after the other. They all looked at him expectant. Well, you have me, he said. He smiled. You have your anarchist. What are you going to do with him? What a setup. Like, what a setup. Honestly, it makes you want to read more. It makes you want to understand what the hell is going on. And I will say it's a bit more complex than most, I would say, speculative fiction, because there's just a lot that's going on, and it has to do a lot with like language and how language is being used or maybe even abused. So I don't know, this is my first Ursula K. Le Guin, and I think like you just need to give your time and attention to it. I will be coming back with some thoughts and opinions, but I obviously don't want to spoil it, because I've decided that I'm just going to include it in my writing vlog right now, because since what I'm working on, my book, let's call it calendar, I've been calling it calendar for the last 7-8 years. It has to do a little bit with like a futuristic society, but that's very similar to ours, and there is an anarchist or two at play. So I just want to expand more of my knowledge when editing now. So yeah, I'm loving this. I'm finding it a bit difficult to remember everything that's happening. I'm definitely writing down notes to remember who's from where and who's doing what and what's going on actually. So yeah, let me know if you guys have read this. I would love to hear your thoughts. It's a long time coming. It's about time that I start reading her novels. since my camera died, there's a few more places I need to shovel, and I will be doing that right now. It's so nice though out. It's cold, but it's really nice. I love it. Honestly, I would love to shovel outside all day, kind of, but not really. But it feels so relaxing to me. Listen to podcasts or music and just doing manual work. Something is definitely wrong with my brain, but it feels like it's something useful to do, you know? Yeah. I feel like there's a metaphor somewhere in there between shoveling and chipping away. Oh my god, the sun is so strong now. And writing a novel. But alas, I'm about to shovel all of this here. It's gonna take me about half an hour. And yeah. Look at my boot. It just got worse every day after shoveling. Look at it, it's done. I can't even walk with it anymore. All the snow's inside. Thankfully I found these shit. They're so heavy, you can't see, they're really big and heavy. But it's gonna have to do for the next few days. These are my dad's boots. That's the only boots that we have here left. So yeah, hopefully he can bring one of my old pairs from home. There's a lot of snow. I've been working on a path down there. It's just insane right now. So I'm gonna go back out there now. At least these are warm and they're long, but they're really fucking heavy. So this feels like shoveling with a weight on, but that's fine. I like it. Like I said, I'm a deeply masochistic person, so it doesn't matter to me. Probably shouldn't admit that to the internet, but whatever. Oh, I have a tea. I'm gonna drink some of that and then go back out. Okay, I lied. It's too much snow now. I'm gonna try to get some more done, and then I can sit here and read my book. It looks like it's snowing, but it's not. It's just really windy all of a sudden. So as I'm shoveling, I'm getting a load full of snow in my mouth. Look at that. Oh! What? It's so pretty though. It's giving only person in the world. Are you guys seeing this? These are the stars. It's hard to get them on the iPhone camera, but you see them glowing. Hi, and welcome to the end of the vlog. I just wanted to quickly wrap up everything that I read while I was away and quickly share my thoughts and opinions about the week, what I did, what I did not do, and then I also have like a mini book haul now that I'm back home. I think I'm just gonna include that here at the very end, because these are probably like the books that I'm gonna read next, and some of these books are actually relevant to what I've been researching and doing this past week for my writing project, although I did not write. As you can see through the vlog, there was a lot of snow. We've had a lot of snowstorms in Ontario, and that was not just up north but everywhere else. So basically it was so funny because every second day there was like a snowstorm, so you'd have like a day and a half to shovel what came, and then on top of what you had, you're gonna have more snow coming in, etc. But it was fun. Actually, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed like being outside in the fresh air, enjoying, you know, the wintry forest and the snow. And yeah, I didn't mind shoveling because I had that time to myself, and that time that I was dedicating anyways to like decompress, relax, and work on my manuscript. I'm gonna go briefly through the 4 books that I did end up reading this week. So I first read Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. I have never read this before, and as you can tell, I really did enjoy it. So the reason why I picked this one up is because my friend had said that this has to do also with time travel, because I was explaining to her my novel, and she said, yeah, this one is a time travel novel, and her husband had read it. So I've always wanted to read this book. I feel like I'm the only person on earth who hasn't read Slaughterhouse-Five. Essentially, this is a very rich book. It has to do with Vonnegut's own experience during the bombing of Dresden when he was like a war prisoner in 1945. And I didn't know about the bombing of Dresden before this book, so it's just a very meta book because he's like retelling his story through this anti-war narrative with this protagonist that he created called Billy Pilgrim. And Billy Pilgrim is this guy that is unstuck in time, so we see him as he's like, you know, living out the days before the Dresden bombing and then going back and forward in his lifetime. And yeah, I'm not going to say anything more. I'm going to be talking more about this anyways when I do my monthly wrap up. I did really enjoy this, and it's so freaky to me because the first few pages, when I got used to the writing voice, I feel like it has a lot of similarity with my main character. So this was a great book to read because it really did remind me of my own book, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Then I read my first Ursula K. Le Guin book, and it's The Dispossessed. And this one was also very good. I've tabbed a lot of the pages in this. We follow this like anarchist from a utopian moon planet, and he's going basically to this other planet that is more like similar to our own planet, right? It's more like a Earth-based planet. He's basically invited to that planet as a physicist to contribute to this like advancement in technology. I don't want to spoil it. I'm not too sure if they give it away in the back blurb. So he's going from a society that's like based on mutual aid and, you know, mutual responsibility and respect, and he grew up that way basically. And now we see through his lens how it is to live in a capitalistic, great disparity planet, which is like very much like our planet, where we want to own everything and everyone is owned under someone and everything is owned. Essentially, in a way, this book is very philosophical, and it really makes you think about how our society is set up and what would it be like if we did live in this utopia where, you know, anarchism was the base model. And yeah, I have so many more thoughts. I have not written my review. I have not gone through my like annotations yet, so if it seems a little bit scattered, that's why. I just like to go through the actual quotations and talk about this at length, and I will at some point on my review or on a wrap up. But I deeply enjoyed this, and I'm really interested in reading more by Ursula K. Le Guin. I will say this book really requires your focus and your attention, because it just feels like, although it's very similar to what we know and the concepts that we know, it's still very scientific and it's still very speculative. So it requires your concentration, it requires your focus, and it requires you to deeply think about everything that is being mentioned and shown here. So yeah, I recommend this book. Then I read another time travel novel. It's called This Time Tomorrow by Emma Straub. And this one is not like super time travel focused in a way that, like, yes, it's time travel, but it's also lit fic, and it also mostly deals with the main character's emotions and inner turmoil and her decisions in life, and also her relationship with her father. So this one has to do a little bit with like grief and exploration. And yeah, I did enjoy it, but I thought I would love it and I did not. I don't know where the disconnect is. I will definitely be thinking about this and trying to uncover what did not resonate with me, because ideally when I look at the story, when I think about the story, it had everything for me to love it, but I don't love it. I don't know why. This actually reminded me a little bit of another time travel novel that I read I think 2 years ago, and it's called Wanna Out of Order. But either way, I'm gonna be thinking about all the time travel literature that I've read and coming up with my own thoughts and rankings, and then I'm gonna post a video of all the time travel books that I've read. I still have a few more that I want to read, but yeah, those were the 3 fiction books that I read. And I also read Wintering: The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times by Catherine May. I've been meaning to read this all winter and the previous winter, and I'm just so glad I picked it up this week that I had so much snow. I couldn't do much. I was just resting. I was just shoveling. I was just enjoying the snow. I was enjoying the motions between rest and, you know, vigorous work, and rest and contemplation and reading and just being in silence for a week. And it was just the perfect book for that. I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. It's very beautifully written. It's very personal and contemplative. And it goes from September actually all the way to March. So you could technically start it in September and finish in March. I obviously read everything in the bulk of this week of February. And I think that was perfect because in February of this book, she also discusses snow. So she discusses the multiple facets of wintering and resting, but also with, like, you know, on topic seasonal monthly happenings. So like you'll have like Christmas, you'll have like traditions, you'll have like snow. And I just really enjoy this, and I think this is a great book and everyone should pick it up at some point, especially if you are, you know, going through a period of kind of like depression and change, and you just want to stay inside and you just don't understand what's going on. I think this will bring you a lot of solace. I think this will make you feel better and be less harsh on yourself, and just take that time for yourself to, you know, contemplate. And I can see why this is a success, especially coming out of the years from COVID that we've had. And I have her other book, her second book, called Enchantment, and I'm debating if I should read this month or next month, or if I should just keep it for next year or another season. So it depends what that book deals with, but I definitely enjoyed this. Definitely picked this up during the wintry months. And yeah, that was Wintering. Okay, so update on the writing. I did not write. Like I said, I was reading, sleeping, shoveling. It was snowing, I was outside, and I was shoveling, and did a little bit more reading, and then it was like dark and cold and moody, so I would either be napping, or sometimes at nighttime I'd watch a movie, mostly movies that have to do with writers and writing. So I will be filming an update of like those type of movies, like movies that have to do with writers, real writers, fictional writers, imagined writers, journalists, etc. I've had like a fun time rewatching certain writer movies that I've watched like a decade ago, and like revisiting them and like seeing if they stand the test of time or if they stand my appreciation. So yeah, that's what I did instead. I did do like research on basically, like I said, time travel, anarchism. So that's why I read mostly books that have to do with either time travel or anarchism in literature. And I also read some of that online and on like a ebook format and all that. So I'm not going to review that now because I think I'm going to make a separate video. But this also leads to the books that I ordered, and I was also sent a book, so I'm gonna open that now, and it's gonna be again very thematic, very on brand. So let's start first with the book that was sent to me, because I don't know what this is. We have this book called Flirty Dancing, and it's by Jennifer Moffat. I feel like I know this author somehow. I guess it's like a Dirty Dancing retelling, but with male on male, and I think that's so fascinating, so interesting. Actually, Dirty Dancing is one of my favorite movies of all time. and it's a movie where like my parents watch over and over again, and then me and my sister watch over and over again. So I think this is gonna be such a fun book to read. And it says, this summer have the time of your life, like the song, and I had the time of my life. Okay, I think this is gonna be a great book to read during the summertime. Okay, then we have the second package here. Okay, I got 4 books in this one, so let's go through them. First book I got is Orbital by Samantha Harvey. This was the Booker Prize of 2024. Everyone has talked about this book, and I feel like since I'm into like time travel right now, I'm also into like space stuff too. So I think this is going to be an amazing book to pick up. I think I'm going to read this probably in March, and I'm just so excited to read it. I also got this one, which is called The Tender Bar by J.R. Moehringer. And this is a memoir, and actually this is the movie that I watched also by the same title, and there was a lot of great actors in that movie, and it was a fantastic movie, and I just loved the movie so much. I went to look at the memoir online, and a lot of people rated this memoir very highly, so I just wanted to read it now because I really loved the movie. I feel like usually like writer's memoir that turned to movie is always like this big event and this big like thing, or like something that is super traumatic that they went through and, you know, come out of. But this one was so like deeply relatable and very like slow and steady, and just like your average person type of memoir that just enhanced the beauty because it just felt so real. You know, it just felt like it's something that I went through, and I just loved the relationship portrayals in this movie, and so I think the book is going to be also good. And it says here that he was winner of the Pulitzer Prize for feature writing in 2000. So yeah, if I like this one, I know there's a novel by him that looks really, really good, so I would love to read his novel next. So yeah, I'll start with this first. So I hope I won't get judged too harshly, but because I've been like researching books on anarchism and, you know, whatnot, I got this one, and I'm not gonna go into the specifics of this one because I just don't want to get banned or anything. It's Industrial Society, and it's Future by Theodore John. I'm not gonna insert the name in case it gets flagged, you know. So it's like a manifesto, and apparently a lot of people have loved this one, you know, despite their horrendous actions that the author has taken, and he was, you know, obviously jailed for it. I still feel like this is going to be a very informational and great book to read, and I've only heard great things online, so honestly, don't knock it unless you read it. And then I got The Art Spirit by Robert Henri, and I've been meaning to get this book actually for like over a year now. What finally pushed me to get it is with the passing of David Lynch. He talks highly about this book, and in his memoir Room to Dream, this book has been mentioned a few times. And actually, if you look at the back cover, it's actually blurb by David Lynch as well, so perfect. And I think this is the next art book that I'm gonna read. I know I took like a few months off reading art books because I'm not working on my French Riviera book right now because it's the winter season, but I am definitely like still collecting and slowly reading few art books here and there for, you know, when I get back to that book. So I think this is the one that I'm gonna read next, like I said. And finally, we have the last book in here, and it's The Anarchist Cookbook by William Powell, an introduction by Peter Bergman. So I've been reading this on my laptop and annotating it, so I just wanted to have a physical copy as well. Did I know that it would like look like an actual cookbook? No, but I think this is fun. This is exciting. Can't wait to like transfer my annotations to the actual book itself. I just always love to collect the physical format of books, even if I read some things like online for free, because they're like open resource, like this one and Industrial Society and its Future. You can find those two online for free, open library and whatnot. But I love to have it physically so that, you know, I always have it and I can annotate and refer back to it while I'm writing. So yeah, those were the books that I got. That was my haul. That was my update. I will be writing. I feel like now that I'm back home, I'm like more like back on like writer mindset. I think I needed that week to just like decompress and relax and, you know, It's kind of hard sometimes to take a vacation because my brain never allows me to like enjoy anything at all. So I think just like being so burnt out that I just did not do anything besides shoveling and reading and thinking about things in quiet, right? That's another thing, like you're like away from society, and I was like staying offline too, just to like help myself, you know, heal my relationship with like being offline and being present and being intentional and being able to think and work through like plot holes and whatnot from my book. I think now I'm ready to actually tackle the book. So the next few vlogs probably gonna be writing vlogs and also like book vlogs on like what I'm reading and what I've learned and whatnot. So you can look forward to that. Thank you so much for watching. I know this vlog was chaotic. Honestly, when have I not filmed a vlog that is chaotic? Never. So I think this is just the way that I vlog. It's really hard for me to vlog because my attention span is all over and I forget to vlog and I forget to update. So that's why I'm always at the end coming and like trying to wrap things up. But yeah, I hope you still enjoyed it. I hope that you are taking care of yourself. I hope that you're reading great books. I hope that you get to engage with your creativity. I hope that you are enjoying the winter season, even if your winter season looks completely different from mine. So see you on the next bookish or writing vlog. Bye!